Welcome to the agenda with me, Lasha Kingsley in Douala, Cameroon. On today's edition of the program, we will be talking entrepreneurship, and the leader of Go Ahead Africa Limited, leadership coach Roland KWEMAIN, is back this time around not to talk motivation but to talk entrepreneurship, a subject which is on the lips of many young Cameroonians. And of course, you see many people these days presenting themselves as entrepreneurs. At what point? That's the question we're asking tonight. At what point should you call yourself, or should one call himself or herself an entrepreneur? That's a question that Roland KWEMAIN will be attempting an answer from Roland KWEMAIN on today's edition of the agenda. Stay with me. I will be right back after this jingle break. Coach Roland KWEMAIN, hi, welcome.
Thank you, Kingsley, for bringing me back. We made a promise to be back here 3 months after.
Yes.
So, and we are back.
You have honored your promise.
Yes.
This time around, coming with something very interesting.
Yes.
For our viewers on tonight's edition.
Entrepreneurship.
Yes, entrepreneurship is our focus, Roland KWEMAIN. And I've been wondering, when I was doing my research on this topic, one thing that really caught my attention was this, this notion that you see many young Cameroonians nowadays, they call themselves entrepreneurs, CEOs. You have them on social media and even on the offline calling themselves entrepreneurs. Before we dive into asking at what point and in time should one call himself an entrepreneur, what is entrepreneurship, Roland KWEMAIN? Okay,
thank you, Kingsley. Entrepreneurship is a process. It's that process that we give you that opportunity to transform an idea to something very concrete. It's the process that will help in creating, in developing an idea to a final product that can be a service or a tangible product. Now, that process will help you to identify an idea. It means there is a need somewhere, there are issues, there are problems. Then after you observe it, you decide to bring a solution to that need. That process of bringing that solution become what we call entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship, I think, is something that can help, and that will help even many African countries to create wealth. So entrepreneurs are those who are creating wealth. And if there was a simple way to define it, I would say entrepreneurship is a process of providing solutions and the transformation of this solution to business activities, to income generating activities.
Okay, thank you so much for the clarification. Yes. Hey, Roland KWEMAIN, like I did mention in my introduction, nowadays you find so many young people, calling themselves CEOs, entrepreneurs, owners of businesses, that some you cannot even find on on physical space. Yes. Now, I want to know from you, maybe our other televiewers who are watching us at this particular material moment, at what point should someone call himself or herself an entrepreneur?
I think, Kingsley, the goal of our conversation today is not to discourage those who are calling themselves. And I have an anecdote. Some 24 years ago, when I got engaged and I was fiancé, my late father-in-law asked me what was my job. When I said I was an entrepreneur, he was worried. And I remember later we became very good friends. So his prayer was like, where do you work? And I tried to explain. So many parents at that time, we are talking like 25 years ago, they saw this like like a chômeur, someone who is not working, but is hiding behind that umbrella of entrepreneur. So I just wanted to throw this joke so that people don't feel like, okay, Kingsley is very trying to frustrate those who call themselves entrepreneurs. So an entrepreneur is someone who embarks on a business activity. Who is doing business, who is creating wealth, who has an organization, who recruit, who sells. At the end of the day, who makes profit? Someone who pays taxes to the government. That is entrepreneurship, but it's not something that is temporal. It's not something that you do because you wanted to do other things, you failed there. It's not as easy. Instead, I strongly believe that entrepreneurship is quite challenging. And that's why I really believe in the course of our conversation, we have to come out what it takes. So it's not trivial. It's not like, okay, CEO, founder, chairman, all those titles.
If I understand all these things you are saying, if at the end of the day you cannot pay taxes, you cannot make profit or create wealth, then you are not an entrepreneur.
You are not. Because an entrepreneur is a strong stakeholder in a country, in a community. Is someone that creates wealth. Is someone that is so crucial. Because when you create wealth, you employ people. So it's a job creator. Is also someone that pays taxes. So he contributes in nation building. It's someone that at the end of the day makes some profit for himself. Is wealthy. So you can really see the impact of entrepreneurship in a nation. So I think we should take it very, very serious.
Yes, and do you need any specific background to become a successful entrepreneur?
No. I think first, it's not like going to school to become an entrepreneur. I have to be very honest. I don't want to discourage parents to send their kid. They need to go to school. I went to school and I'm even still going to school. But going to school do not make you a successful entrepreneur. I think it is important to know that it's just to have a technical knowledge in the field. Let me say, if you are a tailor, you should know how to sew. So the first skill is the technical skill. If you decide that, okay, you want to open a salon or a shave, you have to know how to shave. I'm just saying, if you are an auto-entrepreneur, because later you can become an investor, where you can invest in salon, you are not, that's the level. But let us take the foundation where these young people want to start their business. If you want to open a restaurant, you have to know how to cook. So these skills are very essential, but they are not crucial for the next stage. You will see skills, for instance, taking risk. Entrepreneurs, the quality is that they take risk. Where kids will be very afraid to go, an entrepreneur will go there. Risk. The other one is financial management. Because it's not about just making money. But before even the financial management, sales, skill. Because if you produce and you cannot sell, you're in trouble. So those are the skills. Then how do you manage the resources? Because if it comes in and it goes out immediately, we are in trouble. So those are some of the skills. And if you look at them very critically, it's not all the skills that we acquire in school. Some are very good managers from day one.
So you take the case of the billionaires in Cameroon, those that have been running the economies of the country. Some of them are of late now.
Yes.
Fosu, Kaji, some of them.
Yes.
One may want to agree that they did not even go to school that much.
It's not just in Cameroon. I've done the study in many African countries. They did not go to school. I thought it was go to all. I've done more than 36 or 37 African countries. So it's the same. So it's not only in Cameroon. So it makes us to question again. So that's why I was saying this. First, they are visionary people. When we arrive, I can maybe later I can give you some of the key success factors of those entrepreneurs, because we have observed them. And it's not school. I'm sorry, it's not school. We taking risk. It means someone who is very bold and courageous. It's leadership, managing well money, don't spending or just spending money and spending money. Managing your emotion, when they give you money, you become mad or you are very cool. All those type of things. It's not about PhDs, masters. So I want to agree, and I want to very honest to tell you that to become an entrepreneur, it needs courage. It needs to be visionary. Those who you see things that people are not seeing. They have the intuition that this business might be in the next business. But again, those names you gave, now the next stage, they had to take people around them that went to school. Yes. They employ very smart guys to work for them.
They're the vision bearer.
Yes.
Which means if they don't have the vision, it will be very, very difficult.
So it's about craziness, about passion, about not giving up, but also about managing money very well, because that's also the key.
That's the message
Yes.
they use, because sometimes they want to imitate or copy what
Yeah.
some of their friends are doing. Maybe somebody comes up and says, I have this business, maybe brandish a picture on the social media, pam, we hear others, I'm the CEO of this, you know.
I think, and I love what you are trying to come out. You know, the picture, the celebration is just part. That's the end. The journey is more tough, more difficult, more challenging, and at the end, the excitement is at the end. Now, I agree with you that if you open your business now and tomorrow you buy a car, I mean, there's a problem. You can trek for years, there's no problem. So it's a matter of sustainability. If it was a race, I would say it's a marathon.
Yes.
It's not a 100 meter. It's not running, and no. It's more longer than you think. So I think, and this way now, the emotional aspect, how do you manage? The soft skills become so crucial. And I agree with you that we should be very careful on what people paste on social media. You're not an entrepreneur on social media. The reality is on the ground, yes. And the reality is more tough.
These people who have been successful in Cameroon that we just cited some of the names, no doubt they had the vision, they had, you know, the skills, everything, but there was something that they were blessed with, that is capital.
Yes.
Starting a business, is capital really the main focus for you to start a business?
No, all of them
need some sort of money.
All of them had humble.
Maybe, okay, I want to start a business. Lasha needs 10 million. I don't have any skill, I don't have anything. I need 10 million.
No,
I think
business
you take and give me.
I have to be honest with you. They had humble beginning. All the great entrepreneurs in the world, it's except those who are like héritiers. They are taking the business from their parents. It's different. But we're talking about founders. All founders started with humble. They had all humble beginning. From the Western world to the Orient, East, even to Africa, all of them now. What it takes is more to have a dream. They had a dream. They believe in the beauty of their dream. I even think they were crazy. They took a lot of risk. Now, the financial aspect is not the main aspect at the beginning, because you must start very little. Now, but it's important for you to have a global vision, to have a big picture of where you want to go. But you shouldn't forget that you need to start. It's like going to paradise. The first reality is on earth. You build your journey to paradise on earth.
So the most important thing is the idea, the sustainable idea,
and also the level of their reputation. You know, they were able to manage little things very well, and now the ecosystem could trust them. Are we trustworthy? If Kingsley, I say, Kingsley, please, can you just get me 10,000 CFA? I will give you back next month. You know, 10,000 CFA. Then next month I don't give you the money. 2 months after, I don't give you the money. 6 months after, I don't give you the money. When I even start to ask, you start to ask me the money, I became upset and I insult you. I go on social media and abuse you. Now, do you think tomorrow when I need 100,000 CFA,
come, I will give you?
And then what you don't know, the karma is that, what I don't know is that maybe I will go somewhere and they might ask Kingsley, but okay, we saw with Roland, you were with Roland. How is Roland's relationship with money? What do you think you will say, Kingsley? Honestly.
You'll be
if you are God-fearing or a pastor, you have to say the truth. The truth is that Roland is not good with money. And one of the greatest assets of entrepreneurs is their reputation. And we need to build our reputation. It's even the biggest. So those men and women that we celebrate, that we have been talking, they were men and women that had a high sense of honor. And also, they didn't deal with their reputation. Their yes was yes, and their no was no. And they built upon that, and they could be trusted.
Okay, now let's talk about our environment, Cameroon.
Yes.
the challenges that these young entrepreneurs, despite everything, most of them are still taking that risk to get into business. What are the challenges that are probably facing the young entrepreneurs?
I think the first one that I'm just opening a door that everybody knows is access to finance. It's really an issue because you know, they are young. They will not trust you. The bank will not give you money like that because you don't have line title, you don't have collaterals, you don't have. So let us just clear it up because it's
normal. It's a normal song.
So there's nothing new I'm saying. But the second one is their business ideas sometimes are not very innovative. It's copy and paste. You said it. And the vision is not driven by God. When I'm saying God, I mean it's not inspired by them. It's just a copy. So the foundation is not strong. And then the question I keep asking them, do you have a business plan? Some will say yes, some will say no. But it's not the next step. What is your business model? What is your business model? Okay, you want to create it, but what is your business model? They don't know. So they have to work it out. Then you can also see that their network, who do you know? And who knows you? And this starts in school. When you are in school and you are the president of an association or you are active in these associations, that's how you can start building your leadership skills, learning by doing, but also meeting other entrepreneurs. It's not when you have already graduated, then you don't even know anyone in your field, then there's a problem. Then there's also another element that is quite important is that sometimes they don't have the skills. I mean, they are going there so desperate. Because normally they wanted to, like a civil servant, they wanted to work in this company, they have done, so it's like temporary. And it's nothing as dangerous, a temporary situation that becomes a final situation. That's the worst thing. I mean, you are trying to build a house, but you were saying it will be temporary, then the house is ugly. Whereas if it was driven by a clear vision, I would say, a vision that is inspired by the Almighty, you will see that you go. And then the last element that really disturbs them is that the self-motivation is very low. You know, they will come to you, but you can even see for the body language that this guy will not cope. So I think there must be an element of self-motivation, and that will help them not to give up because the journey, believe me, is quite challenging.
When I was doing my research, I fell on a write-up by one of Cameroon's youngest entrepreneurs who happens to also be a mayor in the BLM. He wrote something that caught my attention, asking questions about young people, what are the kind of activities that they carry out with their friends. You find young people, they don't want to discuss business idea or do business with their friends, but they can drink with their friends, they can share women with their friends, they can do every other thing with their friends.
Can even gossip,
but yes, when it comes to doing business, they don't do business with their friends.
No, what it means, be very careful with whom you associate yourself. Show me your friends and I will tell you who you are. And this is, we have had the conversations on some program on that. When I talk about the 5 barometers of success, the career, for their case, the entrepreneur, that's good. The second barometer is family. The choice of the partner will help you because a partner becomes a strong partner. Husband, wife will help you to succeed. Then the friends. Who are the friends? Are they having conversation that will build you up, or are they conversation that will waste your time?
Conversation of going to nightclub, drinking.
Instead of talking about, there's a program, Kingston has this program, or there's this YouTube channel. Look on financial management, or how do you people that will help you to grow. Or they still take you down. Then there's the community. Because you must invest in your community, what we have called CSR, the corporate social responsibility. It's very important for you to build. That community supports you. Because an entrepreneur is not just there for profit. It's also there to create impact and solving issues in the community. And last is spiritual life. So these 5 barometers, you will see very well that if you take ownership of these barometers, you will not have the case where the mayor is trying to. And he's saying that based on what we have observed. I think he's right.
And also there was another issue he raised, that if you have a problem, you cannot raise money as if you have your entourage and you have a problem that within 2 hours, you cannot raise the money that you need. then those are not the real people you should associate with.
Yeah, what we call the influence, circle of influence.
Yes,
so there's an
circle
issue
of influence.
Yes.
So for example, Lasha has a problem of 500,000.
Yes.
I cannot raise it within 24 hours. Then I should be asking questions about the kind of people I keep around.
Here we go. And that's why I say we choose our friends. We choose our partners. We don't choose, for instance, our brother and sister. Where, okay, so don't tell me I come from a very poor family. Okay. It doesn't depend on you. But there are other elements that depend on you. The type of book you read, the type of conversation, the type of movie, the type of places that you want to go. And this will help you to build your leadership skills. And your leadership skills is so crucial also for your entrepreneurship skills.
Okay, Mr. Roland KWEMAIN, just to remind our televiewers that they are watching the agenda, and on today's edition of the program, we are talking about entrepreneurship and some of the challenges that the young person faces in Cameroon when it comes to establishing a business. Now, let's talk about some skills. Do you need some kind of skills to be able to excel as an entrepreneur?
You know, Kinsey, I've been in entrepreneurship for the past 25 years as an entrepreneur myself. But for the past, I would say 17 years, we have been supporting and growing young entrepreneurs, which is part of my passion. Now, in the beginning of our program, you say you have observed that great entrepreneurs in Cameroon,
yes,
where you gave some names, and what strikes you is that they did not go to school, that generation. Then I told her is across Africa. Now we have observed, and these are some key, I would say 10 or 11 that with their permission we can share. Number one is that they must have a vision. Don't be an entrepreneur by imitation, by accident. It should be something that, you know, you really think about it, you dream about it. So it's very important. Why do you want to become an entrepreneur? Ask yourself why. Here the question becomes so crucial than even the answer. The second element that I share is that they must be passionate about what they are doing. Now, you must do what you love.
If you say I want to be a cleaner, I want to sweep.
Yes.
You should sweep.
Yes.
In a manner that they will not look for any other person to sweep.
Yes, do it such a way. Now, if you don't love what you do, or if you are not doing what you love what you are doing. So love and passion should be at the center of the success. If not, you will get discouraged immediately. The other element is that we must be focused. A lot of distraction with this social media. People think that life is on social media. Everything they just, no. Sometimes I'm on social media. I'm very active on social media. You can follow my page. But what I'm trying to do is that you must be focused. Is it part of your business? Is it bringing an added value in your business in any years? Because stop all distraction. Be focused, yes, and be very, very organized. How do you plan your day? How do you plan your activities? Time management. How do you manage your meetings? Time is money. If they call you to go and drink and it was not part of your entertainment, because you can go and drink if it's part. You are saying, okay, I work well. Let me go I want to go and have 1 or 2 drinks to entertain. Then you see, there we go. But if it was not part, please, your agenda is not my agenda. So what is your agenda? So it is important to stay focused and be very organized. Now, it is important also to accept failure. People think that they will just succeed. No. It's not the book work. You went to school, you cram, they ask you question 1, you answer, no. Entrepreneurship is completely different. Failure is the twin brother of success. But the only condition that they become very twin and good twin is that you must learn from the mistakes. You must learn
if
from
you are not learning from the mistakes.
Yes, if you don't draw a lesson, then you are stupid. Then there are a problem. Then the other element is that don't stay and celebrate quickly. Because you see, you had the sales, then you take the money, go to off license, or you buy something, expensive dress. So please take it cool. You are rapport with success. How do you manage your emotions? This is something that some young entrepreneurs don't have. As soon as they have money, they become very arrogant. They want to go out with all the girls. Error. Take it easy. Take it easy. Then also, keep your eyes on the competition. You must be very curious. What is happening around you? What are the tendency of the market? maybe the new law. You know, every year there's a finance law. What is the impact of that law
on my business?
On your business? So you see, you must be knowledgeable. There will be election in the country next year. What are the risks to your business, and how can you anticipate? You know, all those. You see, there's an intellectual aspect in entrepreneurship. So it's not like something we should take for granted.
Most of this intellectual aspect, we don't learn them
no,
in school.
We should go to seminars, workshops, and most of the time they are free. There are free workshops around here. People will not go because they say, you know, there's no alcohol or drink there. Now, the other element is that you also be careful. As your business is growing, you hire. Are you hiring family? When I say family, I'm not against family business. But if you have a stupid cousin or brother, you have someone who is a thief, but is your brother, you bring him to the business, or someone who has poor character, and that you bring it in the business to destroy your business, or you are an entrepreneur that want to date and dating all the staff, creating confusion in your company. So what I'm trying to say is that you need to learn to hire the best and the best, and stop being emotional. Be more rational, because business is more rationality than emotional. It's not that I don't like him, I like him, he's not from my tribe. It's no. The best, so that c'est un outil de production. Is to produce.
Yes.
So, and this will help you to delegate easily. Now, you need to also establish, and this is something very important, a clear balance between your life, the business and your family. It's not just business, then you forget about the family. At the end of the day, you might regret. Family is goal. Now, how do you build a family? And many young entrepreneurs who have arrived in a situation they are divorced. Why do they divorce? Oh, coach, big bro, my wife is not understanding me. We're having issues.
When that happens, you lose focus.
Yeah, focus. So how did you first choose that partner? If you're an entrepreneur, you cannot go for a wife or a husband that is very possessive. Because the life of an entrepreneur is not stable. It's up and down. It's so challenging that you need someone who is there instead to support, who encourage you, that can understand you. So if there's incompatibility of values, of personality, of character, then we are wasting our time. So it's very crucial. Don't choose just because the person is beautiful or handsome. Be careful. Is that person is going to support your vision? Then the statu quo. Don't celebrate again. Challenge yourself. Invent yourself. Be creative. And last but not the least, a lot of humility. Don't forget the journey where you come from. So when you start to arrive, you have to support other people. I keep saying that do your best. But please don't forget that God will do the rest. So there's an element of destiny in the success. It's not that you are successful because you are the most intelligent, the most powerful.
You are just being favored.
Just
favored by
yes,
God.
I think some of us are chosen by God. But please, when you have been blessed, you must be a blessing to others.
Now, let's talk about this before we are gradually coming to the end of the program. Let me ask you about this, your own point of view on the difficulties facing small and medium-sized enterprises in Cameroon, if time permits, or maybe you dwell on that.
No, I think we will say there's poor access to finance. I said it. There is also the fact that their business is a bit informal. You know, the governance is not very good. You know, sometimes they hide figures. They will try to. Now, when you go to the normal and the corporate world, you see that they can't trust you. They say, okay, give us the 3 years balance sheet. They see that things were. So sometimes I keep encouraging them, let them come out from the informal. Let them be very formal. But also the tax should be very, very conducive. Sometimes the tax situation is quite challenging. And the fact that they are afraid of the tax inspector will push them to do things that tomorrow instead will not help them. Then the last element is that the support system is totally absent. You know, they are not really. The entrepreneur is someone who is alone. It's quite, and we have seen cases that the young people dying. I have 2 or 3 cases, you know, or having mental health issues because you are alone. So we must have a system where they can speak to someone, where you know sometimes they will take a loan and they can't give back, not because they are dishonest. The business didn't work. So how do we do? So it's a situation that is quite challenging. I think you can invite maybe an expert on health issue or mental health, to really see, because more and more I'm seeing young entrepreneurs having serious health, mental health issue. So I think it's not easy.
This is discouraging some people want to get into
it. Yeah, they don't want to go into it because they have seen around them that maybe those who are very rich are not entrepreneurs. Sometimes they are civil servants. So it makes things quite
the case of Cameroon, which is quite an abnormal case. In other countries, people are even leaving the public service to go to the private sector. Just take the case of Kenya. People don't even want to work for the public service. Normally, entrepreneurs are those who are creating wealth. It should be, entrepreneurs should be the people that are more richer in the normal country, in the normal economy. I think we know all that corruption is also one of the biggest challenges that these entrepreneurs are facing, because you do a business, they'll ask you this amount of money, they'll ask this, so something. At the end of the day, it chops everything.
We have, if you take a case of Cameroon energy, this year has been horrible. I see my printer cannot print a document. The lady doing my dress, we order like 400 dresses for our client, because there's no energy. So but again, those are external factors. I keep saying we can identify them, but please let us focus on what are more internal. And the internal challenges is the leader or the entrepreneur himself that need to self-motivate, a lot of discipline, a lot of also network to see who can help him. Reinventing, agility. Because the situation is VUCA, as we said, is even double V. Because I used to say VUCA, but it's even violent, is a lot of volatility, uncertainty about the future, complex in terms of geopolitics with all the security challenges, and also a lot of ambiguous in terms of information. So you can see the landscape is not as easy, but believe me, some people are still going through, and you can be among them. That's why I say do your best. And don't forget that God is there. He can help you to do the rest.
Okay, Roland KWEMAIN, one last question. Let's now talk about Impact Talks Season 6. What are the innovations this time around? Probably you have reinvented once.
We have reinvented. We try to see what we do. So what we did for the season 6 year, we are going now for a whole day training. Before, it used to be like a quick wins. We started the two first year, 1 hour 30. We went for 2 hour 30. Last year was 3 hour 30. For the session now, we are going for the whole day. And we'll be doing every 3 months, because in between the session, we are going to like support the managers that will be part of with webinars. We are producing a newsletter. Then also we are giving them a certificate. So we are going for a 1 day training. So we are launching it on the 24th of April here in Douala, the season 6, with a topic that is quite amazing: how to manage your time and how to effectively manage meetings.
Maybe
we know that time management is an issue, and meeting management is also an issue for some of the entrepreneurs.
Maybe just a quick talk on that time management for people to what they would do. They're expecting to have that day. Time management.
We share with them like the classical timetable that we had in primary school. That was wonderful.
Because you have only one time. You don't the time.
Yes. So the timetable. Do they have a timetable? How do they use the timetable? The other tool will be the 4 Ds, of effective planning. There are things that you must do them. That's the first D. The second D here is to learn how to delegate. There are certain tasks that you should learn how to delegate. The third D is to see something that some activities can delay, can wait. Not because you have called me. For this program was planned. But if it was not planned, I will ask you, Kingsley, let us do it next week. So, delay. And last, delete. There are certain things that are useless. Please don't waste your time doing them. So those are just some tips that we'll have. But this time, a whole day with case studies, with mise en situation, realities, and at the end of the day, they are going to enjoy our session.
Yes, Roland KWEMAIN, leadership, entrepreneurship is equally leadership. Maybe you comment on what just happened in Senegal. What's the lesson that the young people in Cameroon should learn from the Senegalese election?
That first of all, everything is possible, and that we are master of our destiny. I think there's this Muslim proverb that is very clear: each community has leader that it deserves. So in Cameroon, if we are where we are, we deserve it. So I think no need crying, yeah, baby. No, the day we really want change, there will be changes. So Senegal, I think we have to respect them. You can see it was not easy. It's not like it was easy. It was not an easy journey. These guys, they were even in jail, but they fought for something. But where one of the stronger lessons that people are not seeing is to see the collaboration between two young persons. Yes. One could sacrifice for another person. We are too selfish. If we work on what unites us and we forget what divides us, we can go very far. And my dream, my hope for my country is that we start coming together. It's only a home that is divided cannot prosper. Young people should come together, but these young people should also be an example, because we have seen some young people that are even worse than some old people. But by the way, I can only support young people, because young people will bring innovation, prosperity, dynamism, but not against the old people. We need the two together. We support the old are there for wisdom, the young are there to act, and Cameroon need action than even all the speeches.
Coach Roland KWEMAIN, thank you so much for honoring my invitation on this day to talk about leadership on the agenda. It was a pleasure having you, sir.
Thank you so much, and again, all the best, and I hope that the young people that have listened to us and the televiewers are going to be successful entrepreneurs, because the country needs more entrepreneurs than all the speeches.
Thank you so much, Roland.
Thank you.